Hello and welcome. Welcome back to another week. Good to see everybody here. It has been a bit of an adventure. You may have noticed I was off last week. I will explain why in a second. But as always, good to see everybody in the chat here. Nice to see where you're joining from. Hello from Washington, D.C. at the IndyCar Freedom 250 race. Fun. Michael's in Beaverton today. Still overlaps my Portland pin. Depends on the zoom level, I guess. Okay. So, I don't Special studio rebuild. Yeah, pretty much. So let me catch you up on what just happened over the last couple of weeks. Last week we skipped the stream because two reasons. One, I was on a bike. But less fun was because a couple days before, I was I was in my office here over at the other wall, just on a work meeting, and I was hearing drip, 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 faint dripping sounds, and I was like, "That's really weird." And then I didn't think much about it, and finally I was like, "Okay, that's too much dripping noise. What is going on?" And I have had this happen before, where the mini split freezes over and like gets a layer of ice over it, and then the ice just slowly melts, and you hear dripping noise. Um, so I pop open the lid, and it's totally fine. It's not frozen, and I still don't actually know why that happens. I don't fully understand, but that's a different story. Anyway, pop open the lid. That's like where you take out the filters. It's really easy. You just lift it up, and it looked totally fine. So I was like, this is weird. The only thing I could think of is that the drain line for the condensation is clogged, because if it's clogged, it like normally it drains outside, and if it's clogged, it would just fill up on the inside. But at that point, I looked down, and the mini split is I think I took a picture when I was about to put it all back together today. I was, where are you? There you are. So I was, that's the mini split. It's over, on top of this shelf that's right next to the edge of this thing. That's that same cabinet. And I looked down, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's like water on the ledge. There's water, like this box is wet. And as I kept like taking things off the shelf, I realized that it must have been dripping like that for many days, because like one of the boxes I have up there, up on the top shelf with a bunch of, I don't even know what, a bunch of stuff. The box itself was soggy. My Blackmagic 3 monitor, 3U, or 2 monitor 3U display thing, it was sitting on the lower shelf there, and I like picked it up to move it, and water just poured out. It was like, I was like, oh my God, this must have been like this for a long time. I don't know why I didn't notice it earlier. So at that point I was like, okay, well, first of all, I need to dry all this stuff out. So I just emptied the entire shelf. So it was a giant disaster in here, because everything in the shelf was all over the floor. Tried my best to like set things up to dry, drain stuff outside wherever it made sense, got rid of that soggy box. And then and then that was like Thursday, and and you have power below it. Yes. There is in fact a power strip there, which had some drops on it, and somehow it hadn't shorted out. I don't know how. So that was lucky. And yeah, so giant disaster. That was like Thursday. I turned off the AC because I was like, well, if it's not frozen, it's not going to create more water if it's off. Thankfully, the crew was coming on Friday anyway to work on other stuff around here. So while they were here, I was like, can you help me figure this out? And I had a guy on the outside, me on the inside. I'd taken the whole thing off, like taking the case off of it, and then he took like a hose, just like a garden hose, and just sprayed from the outside into the drain line, and then made a bunch of mess in here, shooting little bits of water and stuff into the inside. And then we tested by pouring like a cup or two of water just into that drain line, that tray, and saw it come out the other end. And it's been fine ever since. So I guess it really was just a simple drain line clog, which I still don't understand how it got clogged in the first place, because it's supposed to be just water in there. But yeah, that was super fun. So then that was Friday. And then Saturday, so at that point, it was like, I need to put everything back, set this all up. Oh, yeah. And sometime a couple days before that, or may have been, yeah, it was right after the Sunday 2 weeks ago. There was some little tiny power hiccup in here. Some little tiny power blip. We never, I never saw the lights flicker, but it was enough that the UPS that I have at this rack kicked in to provide power to the rack. But the battery on it is completely shot. So as soon as it kicked into battery power, it just shut off. It just died. And then it didn't even come back on. So my rack was offline also, and I was like, okay, well, that battery's dead. I need to replace the battery. And, I'm trying to look around for the right battery to buy just the replacement battery thing for it. Couldn't find it. Couldn't figure it out. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't have time to deal with this, but I do need another UPS anyway. So I'm just going to buy a new one and deal with the battery swap later. So I've had this UPS sitting here ready to install, which is a project because the rack that's next to me, the UPS is on the bottom shelf, which is on the rug, which is, my phone went to sleep, which is it's like squished into the rug. So I have to actually lift up the UPS, the whole rack, just a little bit to even pull it out. Plus dealing with the mess of wiring on the back of all the power. So, all of these things led to me being like, well, clearly I'm not doing a live stream on Sunday. That was last week. And last Sunday was the ride Lily was organizing, the Plaid Century, which was riding 100 miles around Portland to all 53 Plaid Pantry convenience stores, which was super fun. And so I was prepping for that, and I was getting ready for the party. I didn't ride the whole thing. I rode like a third of it on Sunday, and I had ridden the other 2/3 before. But at the end location, I brought a TV, and I had written this whole software to be able to pull in people's rides from Strava and Ride with GPS into a map to show a map at the end of the ride, which was, I will say, extremely cool. So that's what I was working on Saturday. And that was, where is my map? So that's what I was working on Saturday. And this is what this is everybody's rides then. So everyone started after midnight at some point, and then you had until 7 p.m. There was an after party at 7 p.m., which was where I had this map then displaying everyone's rides. Most people started around 6 to 6:30, so you see a big burst of people starting here. So then I picked up on I joined Lily. She's somewhere. Where is she? She started at 4:30. Let's see if we can find her dot. She started at 4:30, so we should see her pop up there in a second. It's too fast. I can't find her. There's too many people. Anyway, she rode around this whole way, and then I met up with her around here. So at about, I think, 8:30. And, oh yeah, there's me, AP. I'm in there now. And then I rode with her the rest, the next third of the ride that I had missed before. And that meant I was riding my bike literally during the 9 o'clock time that my stream is. So that was the other reason I didn't do a stream last week. And I thought about live streaming on this, but at that point I was like, this is just too much. Let me focus on the map and the working on this project was actually super, super fun. And I was up. So I've been working on this. I started like 2 months ago, completely forgot I had even done that. Got it working the night before. And then it was like 7 p.m. and I was like, I have an idea. What if I print out a receipt for everybody who uploads at the end location? And spent the rest of that night working on that. Even bought a receipt printer and had it like same day delivered. And it is now sitting there because I thought I might do something with it here. But it's like a legit receipt printer, super cheap. I didn't realize they were so cheap. And it was so cool to just have people show up at the end, submit their rides, and then get a little receipt showing their times at each checkpoint. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. All that to say, I'm back now. And yes, we're glad you're back. Thank you. Compressed air to blow through to dislodge anything. Yeah, if I had an air compressor, that would be nice. I'm going to get one to be able to pump up bike tires in the bike shed. So at least I'll have that as an option. Michael says I had a fly get stuck in mine. You know, I was thinking about getting a little screen for the end because it's just an open tube essentially to the inside and outside of the house, which seems weird to me. It seems like bugs could just crawl in. So I think I might get a little screen cap for the outside of it. Bacteria film clogs it. That makes sense. Yeah. At least I didn't have it on top of the lab. Yeah, that would be much, much worse. Although, yes, a drip pan on the top shelf is not a bad idea. I might do that. Drip pan, and then I can also get a drip alarm that would trigger. They make them just like they just blare a really loud siren if they detect water. What was that sound? Something just made a sound. Huh. No idea. They make them that they just beep really loud if they detect water, and you can also get ones that are the Zigbee, so you can connect them into home automation, which I probably will do. But then I could put that in the drip pan because there should never be water in the drip pan, and then as soon as there is a beep, it will alert me. So Matt says my AC guy told me that the chilled water becomes a magnet to stuff, and it turned the water into almost jelly. When he added mine, he added his own invention, a simple wire that I slide in and out. It's not a bad idea. Giovanni says, as the son of a sheet metal worker who has a young and done this share of moonlighting HVAC jobs, I might advise a drain pan under the air conditioning unit to collect any. So there is a drain pan built in to the unit, and it's right under the coils, and then that collects the water and then drips it outside. But yes, I clearly need one in case that overflows because, yeah. Cool. Okay, so we're back. I have not actually done a full inventory of exactly what things are no longer functional because they were wet. Also, my old Mac keyboard sadly was full of water. When I picked it up, it also poured water out when I lifted it. That's the keyboard for the, not this one, but the one that actually works as a Mac. I have not tested that to see if it still works. I probably will. It's just water. It'll probably be fine. I hope the Blackmagic monitor still works, although I don't have a good spot to put it back yet either. So, oh well. Anyway, we're back. I have not had a chance to do really anything here for a while because of all this stuff. So, Frugal Streamer, 4 months as a channel member. Thank you for your support. Did I get the new OC? Omni, yes. Curtis is doing a live stream on it today. Oh, cool. I did. So all of this is happening while I had a notification that for the shipping for this, and I finally went to the PO box to pick it up, and it is now sitting here. But I have not even turned it on. I literally just got it out of the box right before this stream today. So I have not prepped anything for using it, but I can turn it on, and we could at least try to figure it out. But I'm not at all prepped to do a proper demo of this. So I don't want to I didn't want to title the stream a demo of this because it's not going to be a good demo because it's going to be me just poking around seeing what it does. Next week though, I do need to do an actual demo of it on the live stream and film a video about this. So live testing with no prep. Yes. So I feel like we should turn it on. It would be fun. And but yeah, next week I need to get a video done this month, and the video is supposed to be about this, and I am behind on everything because of all these reasons. So it might be that it might be the case that next week I film the video with the channel members like we did last time after the live stream, and then immediately spend the rest of the day editing it and posting it all the same day. It's cutting it close because that is the 31st, which is the deadline. Oh no, actually it's not that bad. It's the 30th. So then I have Monday to also scramble to edit if I need to. So that seems doable. So next week we're going to plan on I hope I timed my other events around this. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. So next week after the live stream, we will plan on filming that video, and then we will. I'll edit it later that night. Yeah. Okay. But I feel like I should turn this on. You can make the receipt printers print super chats. That was kind of what I was thinking. Super chats or the member channel member messages, things like that would just print out behind me. I think it'd be pretty fun. I think I might want to move it down here though, because I think it would look better. Or maybe I get rid of these boxes because these are not pretty, and I move these somewhere else, and then it lives down here. 31st is Monday. It's my 67th birthday. Wow. Happy early birthday. GB Media, I finally experimented and found that the OBSBot UVC to HDMI adapter actually works with a Mevo start, only the USB A port on the OBSBot. I was able to get it to work, not able to get it to work through USB-C. If I remember correctly, OBSBot UVC HDMI. If I remember correctly, let me pull up this link. I thought the USB-C was only for power. I could be wrong on that. Let's see what it says. Oh, it is supposed to have USB. Okay, there is a USB-C for power. But it is supposed to work with USB-C. Interesting. That's weird that that doesn't work, but at least it works with the USB-A. Do I have the link to the receipt printer? So it turns out that, like, yes, I will find it. But it turns out that it's just like one of those things that gets mass cloned now. So it doesn't really matter which one you buy because they're all basically the same. And they all speak a protocol that was created by, I think it was Epson for an early receipt printer. And then everyone just cloned that protocol. So they all also are all compatible with everything because it's just how receipt printers talk, which is pretty cool. So I didn't even install a printer driver to make this work. It's just literally like my script is just outputting commands to the receipt printer. But yes, I will drop a link to the receipt printer. This one is this one was, yeah, I bought it on the 15th on Saturday. It's $65 with a coupon for $58 and 20% off. So, yeah. And I just realized I forgot to finish this order. Don't mind me, just ordering groceries from Amazon. And okay. Anyway, IT never gets old. Strange, my OBSBot UVC adapter USB-C has never had an issue. I wonder if it's the Mevo's camera fault or it's the cable. Are you sure you're using the right kind of cable? Because USB-C cables are kind of a disaster. Okay, let's plug some things into this. Look at all the ports. Okay, we've got, I don't have any SDIs here on the desk. That was one thing I didn't quite think through when I was putting together the rack. I should probably use the last 4 slots for some SDIs just so I have them. But I've got my normal patch connectors here. So we've got one, and then this is supposed to support 4K. So I'm going to also plug in something that is 4K. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is an output. So this is so you can see it. And I have a second output that I was using for something. I don't remember what. So I'll plug that in too. And then I think this one is my 4K from the overhead. So that'll be input 5. And then, oh, network. That's important. And I'm not going to play with the USBs today. We'll save that for a different day. But look at all the USB ports. It looks like computer. Another computer? USB, webcam. I could plug in a webcam. Cool. Okay, let's turn that on. Did I plug it in? Oh no. I was I had to redo all my power connections down below, and I think my little power strip that's on the side of the desk here is not plugged in. It's very hard to see the giant mess of cables down there. Let me just try to find a different place to plug in the GoStream power. Let's see if that works. It ships with a power supply that is like, oh, now I can't get it close enough because the power cord is too short. It ships with this kind of power supply, so big giant brick, but it doesn't, and this is like the computer cord, but it doesn't ship with a computer cord, so you have to bring your own, which I guess is how they deal with not having to ship different versions for different countries. So that does make logistics a lot easier. So you bring your own computer power cord to plug into their 12-volt power supply. Now let's see if that turns on. There we go. And then, do I have a super source for this? I do. Mark says, the thing I like about OC switchers is the built-in menus. I can use them with a Chromebook without the need to take a $1,000 plus laptop with me. Yeah, great point. Good point. Okay, so I have it plugged in now, and this big window is the output of the GoStream. So yeah, so that's, oh wow, that camera needs some focus. Everything got rebooted, so let me go fix my cameras. There we go. And then what's 4? I don't know what. And then 5 is the overhead with the menu system on it, because apparently it did not remember its setting for screen out. So let me fix that really quick. Info display. For some reason, my computer is not showing me that menu, though. That's annoying. Great. Let's try this again. Sometimes I have to reconnect the Lumix Tether app. How many aux outputs does it have? It has 2 HDMIs and it says 1, 2, 3, 4, but the SDIs have 2 each. I don't remember what that's about now. But yeah, the aux outs are over here. 1, 2, these 2 are labeled 3, these 2 are labeled 4. We're gonna have to figure that out. Is it key fill? That would be interesting. Okay. Let's see if my Lumix Tether app is crashed. RBRU says, I would like to see the use of fill and mask over HDMI 1. Fill and mask. Okay, GB Media says the SDIs are mirrored. Interesting. Okay, so you just get two. That's cool. Honestly, you can never have too many outputs. Okay, let's try this again. Lumix is connected. Are you, though? Oh, no, it just crashed again. Okay, can I find the physical buttons? Somewhere. It's just right there. There we go. Ah. Info display. Off. Oh, but now I can't double check it's in 4K. Oh, we'll have to figure that out. It should be in 4K. It should remember that. I remember now. It's the recording mode has to be in 4K. So, oh, now it's working on my computer. Okay, mode. No, it's in HD. Okay, so let's switch this to 4K. Yes, and then I did see this flickered. So this is now a 4K input in this device. Okay, great. Now we're back up and running. Fun. Now, what? So I should be able to pull up the menu on this thing because that would be kind of cool to see too. Let's see if it's outputting the menu on HDMI 1 or 2. That's the multi-view for it. Okay, let's do English, please. Oh, I should probably do this. Does it not let you update the firmware from the device itself? Let's see if it does. Version. No. Ethernet is connected. Hotspot. What? That's cool. That saves another device. It looks like I might need to actually update the firmware from the computer. Okay. Let's do that then. Should have scanned that QR code. Oh, interesting. Did they drop the price on it? I could have sworn it was over $2,000 before. Interesting. Omni 12. Okay. Oh, I think that sound I heard was the PTZ camera for some reason. Dropbox, stop making me make an account. On the Ghost Stream, you have to do it with the SD card. Ah, okay. And it really is just a CF Express, not SD. I hope I have a card. That's going to be a deal breaker if I don't have that card. I might have one from... Yes, I do. Right, I need a card reader for it too. Okay. That is a choice to do it that way only. It does mean that you're going to need to buy new memory if you're going to record with it or update the firmware. So, okay, there's my... Wow, and the firmware is like a gig. Well, 700 megs compressed. It's fun. We're doing this live. This is what you get from... Oh my god, it's 2 gigs not compressed. Okay, firmware update. My other mouse. Better get started on that mortgage application for the memory. Yes, that is not going to be cheap. I lucked out so much buying hard drives and stuff last fall. I updated my NAS, etc., etc. Okay. Oh wait, SSD. That's another way to do it. Okay. Well, I have a CF Express now. Just make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. Makes sense. Okay, so we're just going to copy to the card. That makes sense. Michael says I built an NAS in 2024 and the DDR5 memory has 6x the price. Oh, yeah. It's not good. Man, that was a fast copying 2 gigs. I forgot how fast these cards are. That was like seconds. Okay. Koala late for the stream. 38 months. Oh my god. Seriously, I don't understand how time flies. Thank you for being here for 38 months. Okay, here is my 1 terabyte, which I also bought before memory prices went insane. There we go. Stick that in there, and then what does it say to do after that? Starting the update. Wait. It doesn't say how to start the update. Oh, there it is. Powered on. Okay, so it just does it when it powers on. So it should recognize it, and then they use these as a progress bar. Let's see if that... Oh, there it goes. All right. Firmware is updating. Very exciting progress. Great investment for me if I decide to sell it. They should give you a CF card with this, what you're just saying. What are the prices of these like now? I'm a little scared to look. Oh my god. $240 for 256 gigs. Lexar, it's $1 a gig. Seems to be... one of these is half the price. Suspicious. Let me see if I can find my my purchase. I bought it in... Weird. Why can't I find it? Did I buy it from B&H? That could be. Oh, there it's going. It's going. I do like their little progress bar. Must have been 2024. Let's see if that's true. Yes, I did buy it from B&H. Angelbird, 1 terabyte. How much did I spend? $200. Whoa. That's... And now, oh my god. And now it's... And now it's $750. Holy crap. That's terrifying. I got that for $200. Wow. Yeah, time to open the storage shed and start ripping memory out of old computer equipment. Those buttons are Blackmagic style, are they not? Yes, they are very nice buttons. They are like proper. They actually might be the exact same buttons. They must get them from the same place because they look identical. Let me you can buy a Mac Mini with 1 terabyte for that. Yeah, that's. Let me take a picture of the Blackmagic buttons and a picture of these buttons, and you can see what I mean. It's really hard to get a proper picture with my phone, but that's all I can do right now. Okay. Okay, well, it's still thinking. So that's the ATEM, and that's the GoStream. I'm pretty sure these are literally the same buttons. I mean, everyone just gets them from a button factory anyway, so it's not that weird of a concept, but they look identical. Yeah. So can you remove the caps and rename them? I thought it was only the video hub that worked on. Or I guess these probably do just pop off. I'm a little scared to try. Okay, it's rebooted again. Is it done? Koala says I bought 96 gigs of RAM for $260. It's $12.99 now. That's crazy. Yeah, I also bought my my 96 gig RAM server that runs all my VMs right before all the prices skyrocketed. Man, I'm so glad I just went nuts with it when I did, because geez, this was I bought this little mini PC for $900, and they don't even sell it anymore because I don't think anybody wants to put 96 gigs of RAM into anything anymore. But let's see if I can even find a different version of it. So $900, and now, yeah, now this is the same computer with 32 gigs is the same price. And I got it with 96 gigs. And now that's twice as much. No, that's a different computer. Crazy. That's insane. Hope everything comes back down. Okay. Anyway, this is back. So let's see. We were looking at firmware update complete. To apply the update, please restart. Oh, okay. One more time. I guess I can take the card out now. Wait 3 seconds, power on. Shouldn't have done that while that was on the air. One, two, three. Okay. One more time. I guess I will delete the... Oh, the card is hot. Hot. So I can delete the firmware file from that card now. Okay, there it is. And... it's still booting. There it goes. Okay, now we're back. So, English. Wait, I just did this. Let's double check it's on the right version. Isn't this fun? Isn't this fun? Version 111. What was the version I was supposed to update to? Version 111. That is the current version. Okay, I think everything's fine. Not sure why it said to update the firmware again. But it looks like we're up to date. This hotspot is a cool idea, that you can just use it as a Wi-Fi hotspot. That will save bringing a travel router. Okay, what do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3. Input 4 is missing. Let me see what my ATEM is outputting on input 4. Yes, it is not outputting anything useful, so we're going to make that be the... We're going to make it be maybe the Apple TV? No. How about my PTZ camera? Because then I can get PTZ connected, but that's not showing up. Is the PTZ camera off? No, I see it here. What is... It's got to be something in my... There's a eject CFB button. Is that related to the card? It must be. Yeah, it must be. I didn't even notice that. Good catch. Settings. Device profile. Cool. Disk selection. CF Express. Now I can put that back in. Ah, look at that. Please use the eject CFB button to remove CF Express to prevent device malfunction or card damage. Where did you see that button? I haven't actually analyzed all the physical buttons here yet. Got a little PTZ. Okay, I do want that camera connected. Why don't I see it? I can't see it. Video map out. Yeah, 4 outputs. Oh, and webcam out. Top left recording section. Oh, there it is. Jeez, physical button. Yeah, it looks like that's good that they give you a physical button for it then, if you have to do that all the time. Okay, I was trying to figure out what's going on with my output 4. It's not the PTZ camera's fault. Okay, that's not... Let's see, does this even show up if I plug it into, like, my monitor over here? I think it's got a signal. No. Okay, it's the SDI converter that's being wonky then. It's not recognizing the signal. Let me go fix that. Where is that? That's output 4, patch 4, which is the last white one over there. This one. if that works. Sometimes the little black magic converters need to get rebooted. It's still not recognizing it in that monitor. Let's see if it works here yet. Did I unplug the wrong one? I'm confused. Well, I think I just don't get that input today. I think that's the answer. Okay, we're just down one input. I'm going to have to troubleshoot that later. That's weird. Do you think the CF Express will decrease their selling market? Why do you think they went with that direction? I suspect they need the speed because these cards are so much faster than SD cards. Like, the rated speed of this thing is 3 gigabits a second. That's way faster than you get on SD cards. Sustained write speed 2000 megabytes a second. Yeah, it's because if you think about like 4K ISO recording, that's a lot of data. Okay, so let's like take a look at record. ISO channel enable. It's nice that you can turn it on and off per channel because you don't necessarily want to write a bunch of blank files. So let's do that. So we're doing inputs 1, 2, 3, and 5, which are where I have the cameras plugged in. Okay, recording quality. Medium is 12 megabit. Oh, you can change your user-defined bandwidth. That's good. Playback, player 1, player 2. Cool. It has playback built in. We'll have to load some clips up there for next week. Stream 1, 2, 3. Stream quality. 6 megabit is my usual default. Color back. Okay. I am going to change my output 3 to the PTZ camera though, because that way I can connect my PTZ to this. So let's do that. Cam 3. Let's see if it finds it. It does. I don't remember which one it is though. Why are there 4 cameras appearing on the list? That's interesting. So let's figure out which one of those are. 202.10. That's my overhead, which means it's probably 42.168. I should really give these better IP addresses. Yes, it is that one. So what are the other ones that it's finding? 10, 11. Oh, it's just a different port for the same IP address. Okay, that makes sense. That's cam 3. So let's see. How do I tell it which camera to... Yeah, this is me figuring out how this works. How do I tell it? Let's see, PTZ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So cam 3, maybe it's the... other port. auto switching. Cool. Man, they really packed everything into this, didn't they? 2 downstream keys. Oh yeah, we need to play around with the single HDMI carrying key and fill trick. Keys. I really need to get my 4th input working. Okay, so how do I control a PTZ camera? Got the little things here for it, but I need to like tell it which camera to use. Macros, camera select. Do we think it's that? Camera preset, camera select. Now I'm not sure if I'm on the right port anymore. No. Okay, I might need to look into that later again. Man, there's so many options. Okay. Grab still. ISO record. That just goes. The fan's kicked in. Use replay buttons. So you're gonna have to look into how that works. Audio. Headphones. Wow. Yep. Where is this graphics coming from? Multi-source. Okay, so I really do prefer configure multi-source with the computer app, so I might need to try the computer app in order to make that work. We've got templates. Wonder what those are. Oh, that's cool. It's nice. Graphic is graphics 1, place in background or foreground. Great. Do they have the software for it yet? They do. Let's download that too. Man, Dropbox, stop making me make an account. They really packed a lot into this box. Carpet bombers. This Ghost Stream is so big. It's like an ATEM Mini Extreme Pro X2. Two of them welded together with much bigger buttons. I think it's actually not that much bigger than the Extreme. I don't have one easily to point to. I feel like it is about... I think it's the same width. The Extreme, I think, is about like that instead of like that. But it's got much more useful buttons than the Extreme, that's for sure. Oops. The app is not working. Wait, but that's... I think it maybe didn't install the right version. Maybe I should wait until I get this all up and working before I keep playing with it. I am going to have to do some testing this week if I'm going to film a video about this on Sunday next week. That is for sure. Oh, it's called Omni Software Control. I was using the wrong app to connect to it. That's why. What is the IP address of this device? Probably tells me on the menu, actually. Let's find it. Network Ethernet 45166. There we go. Now we're in. There we go. Templates. Graphics. So this is very similar to the other one. This is actually pretty nicely done. I should load my graphics into this. Let's see if it just works. If I can just start dragging things in. I usually bring in my background, color, where are you? There we go, RGB background.png. Okay, apparently you can't drag them in. So I have to go the other way. Branding. RGB background. There we go. Let's do the channel art. Should be able to do a 4K. We've got the map overlay. That's the little header and footer for the map. Oh, here's my normal set. No signal channel art, sure. And good enough for now. And now we should be able to go back and set the multi-source background. So I can load 2 graphics. So let's go, let's see, where do I do the graphics? Graphics 2 selection. So this is very similar to the ATEM where you have graphics like players, and then you have a media pool that you can activate. So there's the 2 active media players. Now my super source should look better. There we go. That's more fun. Okay, wait. Somebody wanted to see something. That was at the beginning. That was you wanted to see fill and mask over HDMI 1. Keep fumbling around. Not a fan of the overpriced China. So, okay, everything's made in China, it turns out. I think that OC is actually doing a pretty good job of understanding the actual purpose of these devices and how people use them, and doing a surprisingly good job of being like doing product design on it, I guess. Everything is made in China, and it's just whether it's designed by somebody not in China. And Apple puts on their cases the designed, made in China, designed in California or something. So yeah, it's there are a bunch of switchers that are clearly not very well thought out copies of Blackmagic or other switchers. This one feels like more than a copy to me. This one feels like they actually put some real thought into it. They probably made that choice before the prices went up. Probably, yes. I like that the multi-view shows all the sources. Yeah, we've got all 8. I wonder if there's different layouts for multi-views. That's something I like to customize too. Let's see if that's not multi-source. Audio, graphics, macro, PTZ. Output format, video map. That's just what the different outputs are gonna do. Multi-view. We have. Oh, look at that. Wow. Okay. That's actually really good. So you do any of your 8 inputs or your media players. Aux 3, Aux 4. Why are Aux 3 and Aux 4 showing, but Aux 2, 1 and 2 are not? I need to dig into that. That's interesting. Program, preview, clean, multi-source, which is the one super source generator, or multi-view. Yeah, cool. Okay. If anybody thinks this is overpriced, they're free to buy a TriCaster. Yeah, exactly. Go buy a TriCaster, which is just an overpriced computer, and with proprietary software. So good luck with that. But I don't see any options for multi-view layouts, unless it's in settings. No. That's fine. This is a pretty good P1, P2 must be players. I've got to get some video clips. I wonder if how much prep I need to do on the graphics, or can I load in my stinger animation as is? Let's see. Oh, here's the multi-view. We do have some customization. So I can, for example, turn. Oh, I can customize everything in it. It's just only in the computer app. So if you're not using all 8 inputs, you can just drop them, reuse those slots. I kind of want. I don't know if I like having like the inputs over on the left. I kind of think I want them all in a row. So I could move this like that. 6, 7, 8. Then we've got player 1, player 2, aux 3, aux 4, graphics 1, graphics 2, multi-source. And now it looks like that. Oh, and you can save your layouts. Oh, wait. Layout 2. What happens if I do layout 1? Oh, you can do bigger. Oh, that's actually really nice. So if you want bigger windows. Did it save? It did save it. Great. That's nice. Button brightness. Nice. Okay, so how do I get my graphics? Record. ISO channel enable. Inputs. Ah, that's what aux3 and 4 means. It's your network receivers. Look at that. SRT. Oops. That was the button I meant to press. The aux3 and aux4 are your network receivers. SRT listener, SRT caller, RTMP push, RTMP pull. So you can actually make this an RTMP server to stream to it, or SRT. And I have 2 of those. So I could start streaming from another device. That's very cool. Player 1. Oh, player 1 can also do SRT RTMP. Why is it called player then? Interesting. Is that a glitch or is that correct? What does this say? It was somewhere on inputs, maybe. Player 1. Oh, and NDI. And well, interesting that NDI doesn't show up in the computer. I see. Player 1, player 2, you can configure either as players or any of these. But then I'm guessing aux3 cannot be used as a player. Yeah, aux3 can be webcam, NDI, SRT, or RTMP. Wow. Okay, let's try NDI. We've got there's my PTZ camera. And there it is, aux3. Now I can take the HDMI back for the wall cam. Can you set other outputs to different multiple multi-views layout or just one? Ooh, good question. I'm guessing just one. I'm guessing it is a single multi-view multi-viewer. But let's check. Video map. Yeah, there's only one multi-view here. So you choose your multi-view, choose where it goes out. Okay, so then now that I have aux3, oops, player, oh, so the button, player 1, do I have to do function, shift? There it is, shift. Huh, okay. So the big text here is the not shift. The little text here is hold down shift. So if I don't have anything in my player 1, so if I do that, it's going to go black. But if I hold down shift, then it will let me choose aux3, which is my PTZ camera. And does it have NDI output? That's a good question. So let's see. This aux3 is NDI in, and I didn't see NDI on the computer. So let's go to the physical menu and see if I have NDI out. Video map. Looks like no. It looks like it has the 4 physical outputs and a webcam out. Oh, and it's doing 60 FPS right now. They don't sell it there. Oh no. Global trade is hard. There's that. Check out the button lockout feature. Sure. I don't know how to do it. I see a lock. I also see a lock there. Oh, that's a little aux out. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to use this button inherently. What does this do? Oh, that just changes the multi-view format. That's cool. Downstream keys. Should I try to run my actual live stream from this next week? That might require too much prep that I have time for. Oh, I was trying to get a video clip in here. Okay. How do I can make a clip with that. That must be for the replay. Hold the lock, then select the channels. Interesting. Oh. What does that do? Now I can't push it? Oh, interesting. So if I'm not using 4, for example, or 6, 7, 8, or graphics, let's say I don't use graphics 2. Oops. That's cool. Now I can't push. No, I can't push those. So now you won't accidentally cut to a black screen because pushing those locked out ones doesn't do anything. Oops, how did I get to... Did double tap do that? I think double tap did that. No. What is... What's going on? Okay. 7 is locked out. Tapping it doesn't do anything. But tapping it twice does switch to graphics 1, which is not locked out. Doesn't work with program, though. Only preview. Interesting. So you got a double tap to... It's not doing it for 8. It's only doing it for 7. I don't understand why. Graphics 2 has something in it, too. I'm not totally sure I understand what's happening there. OC claims it has AI noise reduction for audio. Interesting. We haven't even dived into the audio menus yet. No red for program. The program row is up on top. I don't know if you can... It is red. Maybe it doesn't look red in the... Because I don't have my exposure quite set up right. User manual? Who reads the manual? What? You lock out the channel, but the shift function works with double tap. Okay. That is what's going on then. I'm not totally sure why it doesn't work with number 8, though, because I thought I was doing the same thing. Anyway, let's take a look at the audio mixer. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I've got audio coming in over HDMI right now, so let's pick in 1, enable. Now I've got program audio. Fader, pan, mono, stereo. Oh, that's nice. Audio effects, on. Denoise. Noise gate, threshold. Okay. compressor, equalizer, equalizer. Where's the AI? So there's your... Oh, and you've got a limiter for program out. Oh, crossfade. That's nice. So you can do hard cut with audio or no. Then your headphone out source. Oh, that's cool. You can choose what you want to preview on your headphones. I wonder if I can change this from... I wonder what this button's for. Solo. I might have to look at the manual. Audio stuff might be easier with software. I agree. Let's pop over to the software. Audio is here. Oh yeah, lots of audio. So there's all the input sources. There's the four mics. So 2 of them are XLR, 2 are the 1/8 inch. Low cut, de-esser, noise. Ah, there's the AI noise reduction. Oh, it's not letting me choose it. Why not? Do I have to... Huh. Why? Maybe it only works for microphone input? It might only work for microphone inputs. We'll have to test that out. I need to get a mic plugged in then. This is okay. I need to make a list for next week. There's so much in this. How am I going to do a video about this in any amount of time? I might have to go back to what I was doing with the ATEMs at the beginning of like doing specific videos about a particular topic, because I don't even know how I begin to do an overview of this that isn't 2 hours long. Wow. Okay. This is really well done, and now I'm like wondering how this compares to the ATEM G2, because it's a similar price and it's not 4K, but I wonder how much stuff that has, because I know that has the streaming receivers too. Oh, I was going to try to confirm I'm actually getting a 4K signal into the input 5, my overhead. How do I confirm the inputs? Let's back out of that and let's go maybe into inputs, HDMI, oh, input, auto, yeah, auto, HDMI, SDI, or HDMI scaling. Okay, what does HDMI scaling do? Let's change that to HDMI scaling. Oh. This is how you do the crop a 4K to different camera angles. So if you have a 4K input, which input 1 is not, but my input 5 is, so let's do that with input 5. Oh, it only works with the first 3. Okay. So I actually want to take... Let me just swap. Put my 4K in input 3. now I need to unlock 4 and lock 5. So this one is 4K. So let's do that, and then we're gonna turn HDMI scaling off for 1 and on for 3. Then we're gonna go edit HDMI scaling. Why did it pop over to input 1? I'm a little confused. Is it? Yeah, it can do 3 virtual cams from 1 4K input. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I've got a 4K input on input 3. Yeah, this is a huge product. Think about the script. I do need to actually plan this, so I'm doing a video. Input 1 has to be the 4K. Is that what's going on? It's only letting me pull virtual angles from one of the inputs. That must be what's happening, because every time I do edit the let's see if this is easier in the software. Not totally sure. Inputs. Source map. That's where we were. I think I understand what's happening now. Okay, let's go back to input 3 is HDMI. Since I'm not using 5 and 6, we're going to do... Oh, these don't have the input scaling option. Interesting. And there's your input 8 does the fill and key. Okay. So if input 2 is HDMI scaling, I don't see any options for configuring it here. So I think you have to do it from the menu here. HDMI scaling. HDMI 2. Edit and preview. Okay. But I do want to make sure my 4K is there. So we're going to swap these two. Aha, interesting that now input 2, I see what's happening. It's starting to make sense now. Let me turn off, let me get a different angle out of the physical port 2, just so I can tell what's going on. I'm going to set it back to my, let's do the lab overhead camera. That's what I thought. I don't see it show up. Okay. So now that I'm back here, what I did by changing input to, so there's the HDMI. That's my overhead camera, which is not exposed properly in the lab. I'm going to change that to HDMI scaling, and now it's actually going to, now I'm not getting HDMI in from that at all. And now my HDMI scaling number 2 is, there we go, is that guy. So I can take my overhead camera and I can go zoom in. 50% is twice. So I can go make an angle that focuses on these buttons. And I could do it again for input 3. I could steal that and change it to scaled. And then HDMI 3 scaling is we can go twice and then move it over to these buttons. There's my virtual cameras. And now I've got my input 1 is just the regular 4K input. Input 2 is scaled there. Input 3 is scaled there. So that means, so the first 3 inputs are able to be scaled from input 1. I feel like I need to draw this out. So your HDMI 1 can be split to the first 3 inputs. Wow, it's really kind of a lot to keep track of, like what the different slots are and what they can do. I guess the way to think of this is more like what's the device? The RØDECaster, that's the one. I think the way to think of this is more similar to the RØDECaster, where your 8 inputs don't really correspond to the physical inputs. Magnified region is not bad. Usable viewing on my little 30-inch TV. Well, and I'm not even streaming in 4K today, so you're seeing a weirdly like what do you even? I mean, you're seeing it quarter size first of all, which I guess is why it looks fine. But it is 4K coming into this, and then that means by the time it gets to the screen internally, it's full HD, but then it's shrinking back down. Anyway, yeah, I think the way to think of this is your 8 video channels really don't correspond to the 8 inputs much at all. They're not really, it's not like an ATEM is, you know, channel 1 is HDMI 1, channel 2 is HDMI 2. And there aren't really exceptions on the ATEMs. I don't know how the G2 works yet. But then the RØDECaster is like nothing corresponds. The physical inputs don't correspond at all to your physical ports because you can remap everything all day long. This one's a little bit in the middle because the source map, like the channel 1 can be either, they should maybe clarify this because this is HDMI 1, this is SDI 1, and then HDMI scaling is HDMI scaling 1. So I can't change video channel 7 to pull from port 2, for example. So it's not a full router. But they're more like channels. So inputs or channels 1, 2, and 3 behave the same way, where it pulls from either physical port 1, 2, 3 or your scaler 1, 2, and 3. Input 4 is then either just HDMI or SDI. Same with 5. Same with 6. And then 7. Oh yeah, 7. 8 is the one that gets key and fill. Then you have another input channel called player 1, which isn't really, it almost just should be called 9. This one can either be video player, NDI, SRT, RTMP. 10 can be player or your instant replay channel, or NDI or SRT or RTMP. And then aux3, which really could just be called 11, is the network sources plus webcam, and then same with 4. And I'm guessing webcam is actually one of the particular webcam input ports on the back, because there are 2. So I'm guessing 3 and 4 are locked, like physically locked to one of those channels. Robert says you can map buttons on the ATEMs. I'm not talking about the buttons. I'm talking about video channels. So, like, this isn't exact. This is a little bit more than button mapping. It's because it's actually assigning the video channels. It's much more similar to the RØDECaster, but the RØDECaster is more. Greg says, I wouldn't even know where to begin with that setup. It is not for beginners. This is definitely a pro device. This is going to take some learning to get used to. The RØDECaster has done much better job of making it much easier for beginners, I will say. This is like much closer to an ATEM where you really want to spend some time thinking about it and setting things up. May have to do a 3-party live stream so we can watch and help. Yeah. Don't forget the bridge app. The NDI bridge app. I don't remember if that's still running. I think it must not, because otherwise I would have seen other NDI sources on the network. Andre says, unless I need so many inputs, the RØDECaster, I'm happy with the RØDECaster at the moment. This begins to enter real events. Yes, that's the idea. I mean, that was their intent with this, is for much bigger events. Where would a beginner's... Oops, does have mix minus. Oh, the key fill thing. Yes. That. I don't know if I have... Yeah, I should try to figure that out. Where would a beginner start? I would say start with... This is not something that a beginner needs, first of all. Unless you're jumping in right from the go with a whole bunch of video sources. But the smaller devices are generally easier to use just because they do less, so there's less to get overwhelmed with. But also the RØDECaster is, I would say, pretty beginner friendly. IT Navigator also, the funny thing is that although the RØDECaster is beginner friendly, in order to do sophisticated stuff, you need to dig in. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the cool thing about the RØDECaster, is that you can get to do pretty advanced stuff with it. But the RØDECaster is much, much more beginner friendly. And then you will very quickly hit the limits of it, of like the numbers of inputs and outputs and things. Although I think the audio is probably way better than the RØDECaster. But you will hit the limits, and that's when you're just going to need more ports of some sort. And that's what this thing is for. It's like, okay, yeah, you've got now 8 HDMI, SDI inputs, a bunch of outputs, lets you run slides on a screen, lets you pull up your, have your large monitor for multi-view. I feel like I'm going to have to do a whole video just about the instant replay, because I need to get video clips queued up in order to make that make any sense. I'll go film some Mario Kart to use for instant replay. Yeah. ATEM was easier than this. The small ATEMs, I think, were easier, but is this about where do beginners start? Get this and play with it like anything else? I mean, yeah, fair. The only way you're going to get better at this stuff is to play with it and learn it. But maybe reading the manual, I don't know. That maybe would have been a good idea to do before I started any of this. The manual is 313 pages long. Well, I feel if you have used ATEMs, this is kind of mild. I mean, it is very similar to how ATEMs work. I don't think it's an accident. Oh, here is the GoStream overlay. I do kind of wish they would not use their Dropbox for their files. I would only have 3 cameras. Yeah, 3 cameras I feel like is a good pretty good small studio setup. I mean, even for me, I mostly am using 3 cameras for most of the content, except that I want to show you this multi-view, for example, so it counts as a camera, and that's why I've got the big ATEM. But for as far as like, I got my main camera, my overhead, and then like a side view or something, right? Um, and yeah, Lily's studio, she has her main camera. Well, okay, 3 inputs actually, 3 cameras make sense. Once you start doing anything besides just filming you, I feel like the 3 inputs becomes a limit. So you need things like, how do you pull in chats? Do you want to share your computer screen? Do you want to AirPlay from your phone? This is very much like getting into the Grass Valley fields. It is inching into that territory. Can you route the multi-view through the USB-C port to a portable monitor with USB-C input? Probably not. I'm guessing not. The output webcam out, but it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think so. So I can choose what the. You have 5 output channels, and one of them is a webcam out, but that's not going to run a monitor. Can you export and edit them in XML? Edit the macros. I didn't even touch macros yet. Let's see. I'm guessing so. Let's see. Create a macro. Test. Now we record. Let's just cut to camera 2. What can we... Should probably make a folder for this in case it exports all the graphics or something. They do just use, yeah, they did just use XML, like the ATEM. So this is the export, and it looks like there's everything, all the settings, and somewhere in here is probably macros. Let's see if they're in here. Yeah. So yeah, I think, I'm not sure if it works like the ATEM where you also could import like only that part, or if you have to do the full export and import. But you can at least edit this now here if you want to make small tweaks to your macros and then import this file back in. Andre says we have 5 cameras and 1 aux for demo. So you'll run out of inputs on a RØDECaster, for example. Oh wait, unless you bring them in through NDI. Put the manual into Notebook LM. That would actually be really funny to run the manual through Notebook LM and turn it into a podcast. Kind of tempted to do that. Okay, I was trying to install the GoStream overlays. Oh my gosh, I just realized how late it is. We've been going for so long. Been watching me just fumble around this for an hour and a half. Hopefully this has been fun. GoStream overlays. Oh, I don't really have a way to do this right now. Oh, apparently I do. No, I don't. I need to plug in a HDMI cable from my computer to this, and that I really don't have a good way to do that right now. But basically, the overlays lets you run this app, point it at a website, and then it will output over your second monitor a two key fill channel over a single HDMI cable that will then this thing can pull apart and extract into proper overlay. Thanks for jumping in right to it. Thanks for showing. Got what I wanted. Glad you could join. That's great. Does it have companion support? Yes. I saw on their download page the companion module. So 2.1.1 beta does support the Omni 12, which is great. Oops. Not been released to the official companion module. Okay. So eventually it'll get published into the official module, but it looks like not yet. Do all the outputs have the same inputs available, or some of them different? That's a good question. I didn't properly go through that, did I? Outputs, video map. So SDI out can be any of your inputs. And now that we know these are more like channels 8 through 12, we'll think of them that way. Program preview clean, multi-view, multi-source. Okay, SDI out. That looks like the same list. HDMI out. That looks like the same list. Same list. Webcam out can also be everything. Okay, so they're everything. Audio map. Oh, that's cool. You can choose your audio out for the different physical ports also. That's actually really nice. So if you wanted to run an HDMI out, if you had a remote guest, for example, coming in one of your physical ports, you could preview their audio on a separate display. HDMI format, that is, I've never had to change that before. Recording quality, streaming quality. I've had this in 60 frames per second the whole time, which is silly. I think the switcher might be too big to fit on the bike. I could do it. I have a big bike. I could put it on the rear rack. That would be very silly. I don't know what I would do with it on the bike. I mean, I could definitely bike it to a location, to a venue, and set up a show with it, but it would be weird to try to film live on the bike. But I could do it. I could totally do it. Okay. I think we should probably wrap this up because what are you doing? It says, for me, this is competing with Extreme G2. It really is. It really is competing with the ATEM Extreme G2. This makes me really want to get a G2 in for testing. Because it feels very, very competitive with it. This is, so yeah, they treat theirs as video channels now too. I don't know how much of it you can remap. I don't remember yet. 9 inputs, 4 aux outs. ATEM is not 4K. This Go stream is 4K. Some kind. One multi-view, 2 out, so that's similar. It's gonna be hard to tell just from the spec list what this can do. Oh, they also use CF Express. Okay. I do wish they'd used combo jacks on the Go stream, but they use just XLR. Oh, right, they have MANI input, but not output. I feel like that I want output from that. Yeah, it's gonna be too hard to compare this just from the specs. It would be interesting because it does feel very competitive. It's starting to get very similar to that level. How heavy is it? It got some weight to it. It's got some weight to it. Definitely heavier than the ATEM Extreme. It feels like 4 ATEM Extremes. No NDI in ATEM land, yes. Will it ride? It's a perfect call to action. Will it ride? It would fit in the trailer. Oh yeah, but you've seen my bike. I can got a whole big rack on the back. How easy is it for someone to dial in via Teams or Zoom meetings? How does one resolve the audio echo? So that's one thing I didn't look at. Let's see if there's a quick answer to this. To get that to work, you would need the output, the video, the webcam out to be probably programmed so that they know if they're on the air. The audio out. So the echo would happen if you send program audio back, because then they're going to hear, their caller audio will get sent back out to the webcam, which is bad. So if there's no mix minus, like imagine the caller was coming in on, let's call it aux3, which is NDI from Zoom. So I can't do mix minus. I can't say everything except aux3, but I could say my microphone audio is coming in on mic 1, and I'm going to send that out the webcam. And then they're not going to hear the rest of the show audio, like sound effects or music or anything, but they would be able to hear you. So that would work. And then that is, so if I were to do this, I would say input aux3 is, oh, that's not the NDI. Wait, what? Source map, there it is. aux3 is NDI. Oh, where do I choose the NDI feed? Interesting, it doesn't show up in the app. It showed up in here. Input. Source map. Nope. aux3. NDI. NDI list. So if I open up Zoom, oops. Trevor says, I bet you could open it up and change the XLR Insta combo chats. I don't know if I would want to do that. Okay, so I've got Zoom ISO. NDI output. Do I have to actually be in a Zoom? Yes. And there we go. Now I've got my Zoom ISO output. So with NDI coming from Zoom, I'm not actually seeing it though. Is this the, did I choose the wrong one? Zoom ISO 1. Zoom ISO 2. I hope this isn't the NDI compatibility issue. Well, I might have to do this another day. So I was going to wrap up anyway. Anyway, the short answer to your question was what I just showed you, which was you can output a single audio channel to the webcam out to send to Zoom, and but it won't be the show audio. But it will get you there. It will let you do a show. GoStream price. They just said on their site that it was $19.75. They dropped it under 2K. I could have sworn it was $2,200 when they last said. Does it support full NDI or only HX? Yeah, that's the question. Zoom ISO sends full. I thought Zoom ISO v3 added HX, but now I don't remember how to turn that on. Maybe they should have taken inspiration from the RØDECaster audio mixer, not the ATEM. Yes. One advantage of the OC software is it doesn't have the tiny constricted window like the RØDECaster. Yeah, the software of this, I was able to make it full screen, which is nice. And it looks like it's missing a couple things from the physical controls. So, NDI HX, not sure which version. Yeah. Nothing. I wish NDI did a better job of showing you the protocol. But yeah, so this is nice. This is a nicer way to do it. You can set your 4 network sources this way. Are we gonna do the Lego build today? I think so. Unless you want to watch me play with a receipt printer. What do you think? So after this, we're gonna take a short break. Now it's almost been 2 hours. Take a short break and then jump into the members stream. We will do a members stream today of some kind. It's not going to be me filming a video about this, that's for sure, because I need to make an actual plan to do a video about this before I film that. I'm gonna have to think about that over this week because I have to film on Sunday next week. But the question is, what do you want the member stream to be? Lego or receipt printer? Because I could go either way on this. The receipt printer sitting here, I now have a library that can output stuff to it. So basically we would try to live code some automations for the stream. So that could be super chats for sure. Even like if I click on a message, it could print. It could be print a summary of the show. We can try to think of stuff live. And definitely it's going to all be written with AI because I have been this whole app that I did for the ride last week, entirely me just telling the computer what to do in English and having it write stuff, including so much post-processing of GPS tracks of like what happens when someone had a GPS glitch or someone's Strava app crashed halfway through the ride and I needed to splice in data. And it was crazy how good it was at just, I like how somebody went up an extra mountain just for fun. We already made you ride 100 miles. You didn't have to do another mountain. Okay, Lego, but it's a small bag. We could do both. We could do Lego, and then after the Lego bag is done, we could live code some chat automations. Sure. Let's do that. We're definitely doing this right again next year because it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Plaid, yes. CEO of Plaid came on the ride also and was at the party at the end. It was very cool. Okay. Anyway, we'll do a short break, come back, do a Lego build, Lego bag, and then after that, wow, they really want you to confirm before you eject. After we build that bag, maybe do some live coding because it'll be fun. All right, with that, let's wrap this up and move on. I will. Yeah, this has been fun. You got to watch me fumble through this device for the first time, which was very unprepared because I literally just took it out of the box today. Okay, tonight's trivia, original movie, great. Okay, thanks everybody. Thanks to the extreme supporters, Marcin, Larry, Andre, and Kevin, and thanks to all the channel members. This will be. Oh, I could print out this list of channel members on the receipt printer at the end of the show when I push that button. That could be kind of fun to see it spit out for reals. I need to move it there so that you can see the paper fall out. Okay, we're gonna do a Lego build. We're gonna go set up for the Lego stream, grab a bag. It's probably a small bag, you're right. We're getting towards the end. I kind of don't want to rush to the end. I thought it was gonna be all year that we were gonna be building this, but we're getting real close to the end. But otherwise, thanks for joining. We'll be back next week. Next week, I'm going to have to I'm gonna have to film this video about this thing, so I need to do some real thinking hard about what I'm gonna show for the first video for this thing, because there's a lot there. All right, yeps. See you over on the live stream shortly, and thanks again. See you next week.